deeper, we wondered what it actually means. What does it mean to have a door that you have to enter through? To have a building, the image of a building that's not necessarily permeable, just one space of a door that divides you inside from the outside. So we began to wonder, what does it actually mean underneath all of that? What are you actually seeking, and what words can we use to describe it a little bit differently?
Yeah. And this moves into that a little bit deeper, is that you want to move from welcoming to belonging. There's this word welcome that you also use a lot. It's in your taglines. And if the pandemic has taught us anything, it's that people deeply want to be known. They want to be seen for who they are, all the intersectionalities in which they carry. They want to be able to show up, carrying each one, not having to leave any part of themselves outside. Welcome often says, I'll welcome you, but I'm setting the table, you're welcoming into my space, and you can assimilate into who we are. I don't think that's who you are. I think there is this desire to move to belonging, which anyone can show up as they are, and they're going to find this sense of home, this sense of place, this sense of love.
You're in an in-between, which we've already mentioned. You're an in-between in who you all are, who you're becoming, who COVID has forced us into, and how you express that. We believe deeply that you have the tools needed to chart the future course. And when you do that, you'll be able to shift the other spaces of in-betweenness that you're in particular around your staffing structure, around your building usage, and around worship expression.
Your property is full of possibilities. In meetings with the mayor and city planners and other partners, it became clear that a development on part of the site would be supported and of great value to the community and also to you. With the right project proposed, there could be an excitement and willingness of the city to work with you. Tax credits for potential opportunities around affordable housing, and a desire to engage in a rezoning process, and curating potential partners like the Oneida Nation and other partners that you work with. Also, we looked at who is around you. And this became interesting. From a residential standpoint, you are located in a neighborhood, and the block group immediately to the west, within a 15-minute walk from here, has the highest rate of poverty in the immediate area, 30%, relatively high minority representation, 24%, a large influx of new residents, many of whom are non-white. This block group also has a much lower rate of home ownership, only 49%, compared to the block group First Congregational is located in around here, which is 84%. So we begin to look at the community, the neighborhood around us. It is shifting, it is changing. And what does it look like for us to be found belonging with them, walking alongside, journeying with those who are right amongst us? We also found gaps. This need for arts programming that isn't connected to Lawrence, but arts programming. There's this underground art scene that needs space to engage in. There could be a number of partnerships that emerge in this space to help serve the larger Fox Valley region.
So these are our findings. These are the themes that we found over and over again as we culled through all of our interviews, all of the surveys, all of the pieces of writing, and the talking and engagement in the retreat time together. What we'd like you to do now is go back to your markers and write down what most resonates with you. You can use words this time, that's fine. And I actually encourage you to look at your neighbors' doodles and maybe write on top of theirs also. They're not just yours. This is a community kind of conversation.
It's a co-creating.
Yeah, we're co-creating here. So what most resonates to you? And you know, my father-in-law often, this is what my father-in-law does at lunch. He says, oh, this is a really good sandwich, and the next thing I know, it's on my plate. Which I never asked for, but that's okay. That's his love language. So you take your thoughts and you put them on your neighbor's plate, perhaps, and continue to create together. What most resonates with you?
What's that? We
But it's just like, if we do, we lose them, like it's size of and I hope they're feeling
It's so cool.
Oh, that will come up.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that will come up.
Well, I'm thinking of years. I thought of that too.
So, pause for questions.
Our closed doors. We have to tell them.
Yeah.
What do you want?
But I think we pause and go, is there anything for the representatives?
Well, maybe they just never get invited. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Well, that just opened up.
We are. That's the problem. We see ourselves and inviting what stages or different definitions. Openness. So long they not be wrong. What did they say?
Right now we're resonating.
What is this? Minority community. We're in that community, but yet our community and church don't have our community right around us. That's right.
I know Nigeria was isolated entirely. Some churches are. And to me, that open door, and it's always like what Pastor Steve said when he first showed up. Basically, Brenda and I joined the choir before we joined the church. And then he said, I'm glad you're here. So good to see you. Join, don't join. We don't care. We're the church of the open door. Wow. Never, ever, ever heard that. I interpret that as I'm a member of ITAC. Indigenous Peoples Ally. That doesn't mean I'm confined just to here. It means I can reach out.
By no means am I asking you to stop doodling and writing and sharing with your others with your markers, but we'll move into our recommendations and then another prompt and then some time for questions. And then after that, we'll move into what's next. Okay, so here are our recommendations. The first one is communicate the results of this process. It seems like a basic one, but it's a really, really important one. Communication is hospitality. To communicate the results of this, to thank all of you who were a part of this, not only all of you here, but the members of the community at large, the neighborhood at large. To thank them and say, this is what we're thinking and we'd like your further feedback, and we really mean it, we actually do want your further feedback. Communicating the results of the process is critically important.
The next recommendation is crystallizing the emerging purpose. We feel that there's a deepening of your purpose that is going to look with new words and phrases are going to emerge from that. Your emerging purpose connects to a personality that welcomes hard questions, that seeks deep connection and belonging, that is curious, expansive, creative. And we want you to dig deeper into the aspirational attributes that you carry here, providing opportunities for feedback, claiming them as your own. With your purpose vetted and claimed, we want you to allow that then to become what we refer to as let your purpose be your bouncer, where let it be the thing that defines what you then do and how you engage.
So there's a shift from why you're doing, right? You all are very much a doing congregation, a doing community. But the doing then is deeply connected to your purpose as that is clarified. You all were wonderful in helping us really put together in your survey responses and asking about what words described you in the past and what words describe you now. There was a great deal of clarity that came from that, especially connected to this understanding of belonging that we found. So as that purpose is clarified, as your core values are clarified and defined, which we don't think would take that much time because you all have done a lot of that work already, that we put together something that I call a strategic filter. This is a literal document that has questions around that will help you in decision making, that asks questions around your capacity for engagement. This asks questions around the alignment in your purpose and your core values that can help you have an objective criteria to frame decisions. Decisions from things like missional strategies to committee decisions to how you do worship together, to how you allocate your budget, to what you use for how you use your building, to how you evaluate your programs. The strategic filter can be critically important as it's an outside piece that reflects your inner piece in your inner space that will give you an objective way of being able to make decisions.